Independent Elite Executive Senior Sales Director, Jeanie. Before I start, I have a special message for my Spanish friends. Y para mis amigos españoles, todos tienen esta cosa que voy a hablar sobre hoy. Carolina, Mary Carmen, Careme, Lupita, Maritza, Iván, Alma, todos lo tienen. Y especialmente Evi, lo tienes. Por favor, compártelo con nosotros. Nosotros. Wow. Some national areas have it. Some don't. Most units want it. A few have it for a while. When a unit has it, everyone can tell. And when one doesn't, everyone can tell. The same is true with directors. Some directors have it. Some had it, but don't now. And it or itlessness is obvious. It is always unique. It is always powerful. It is always life-changing. It's hard to find, but it's impossible to miss. And by now you're probably asking, what is it? My answer is, I don't know. Really, I don't. When I got a call from the company in August inviting me to speak on this trip, they told me I was chosen because I had strong offspring units. It just so happened I was sitting at my computer during this phone call. I had my production screen pulled up, and my offspring director's production was right there next to mine. And at that particular moment, in August, right after July, I had been seriously lamenting my production, or lack thereof, and I was worried they'd called the wrong person. I was worried they really weren't going to let me speak if they saw the production numbers I was looking at. So I asked what criteria she was basing this theory on that my offspring directors were strong, and she said, well, the report I have here is July results. And I exhaled and said, well, yes, of course I'd be honored to speak. She thought I could teach you, but I was challenged. Of course, there are teachable skills to make an offspring strong. Tell her to keep being a consultant and work her personal business. Tell her to go for the company challenges like the Dean's List. Suggest she hold her own meetings and set up her communication systems. You know that stuff. You said that to your offsprings. The company teaches it at new director training. But some directors are still weak. And some, you hope, will still be directors when you get home at the end of September. What's the deal? Why are some directors on the court of recruiting every year but never on a trip? Why do some units have 20-plus unit members a month with no offsprings? Why do some units debut in 2 months and disappear in 6? What's the deal? I'm betting that those that are out there with pens poised, you want answers. You want to grow strong directors, and most of you want to be national sales directors. So do I. I sat in my office after that phone call from Dallas wondering what to share. Because in July and August we did not have it. And I knew we did not have it because we had it for almost 2 years. And now temporarily it is gone. But I think it is what I need to tell you about. By the way, I am not the one who came up with it. I first heard of it when my director and I attended a leadership conference and a minister was talking about churches and leaders who have it. And here's what I learned. It doesn't matter where you live. Cities, small towns, suburbs, or on a farm. It doesn't matter what your education in high school is, if it's a high school dropout, college graduate, doctoral candidate. It doesn't matter what your house looks like or whether you have 10 kids, little kids, grown kids, or no kids. It doesn't matter if you're young or old or big or small in stature. If you've been in the company 3 months or 30 years, you can get it. That's the good news. If you don't have it, you can get it. The bad news, of course, if you have it, you can lose the middle of it, numbers always change. New people come in and you're excited and you're pumped and you're on fire and you can't wait to get up and you can't wait to go to your computer or answer your phone because you have it. And when it quiets down or fades away or abruptly or rudely disappears, you long for it. And when you push the refresh button again and then again, your production numbers do not change. For days, they do not change. If by chance you don't have it right now, you're on this trip trying to figure out how to get it back again. Because in the Mary Kay world, when someone has it, someone hears about it, and everyone wants to know what they're doing. For example, some of you may have experienced this yesterday. You were with a busload of top directors traveling through a countryside with breathtaking views, headed to see a famous castle. And if someone on that bus said, "Have you heard about the director in Louisiana who sells over $1,000 at every class?" No one was looking at the Disney World castle. You could take us Mary Kay directors to the most impressive church in Munich, and if someone starts a conversation about a director who does Saturday brunches with 50 guests and 49 sign up, we're going to be huddled around that director, and you can forget about that church. If we hear about that young one from Tennessee who's going into NIQ and has only been a director for 2 years, we're going to ask how she's doing it. You mark my words, we will. The reason we aren't watching, listening, or caring about tour guides and beautiful scenery is because we just heard someone has it. And we recognize it because we have had it. And we who are seeking it are circling overhead. Not exactly like vultures, but definitely like hunters. And when we hear someone has it, we are all over it. We dive bomb right in there. And before long, we'll be voice calming and the phone lines will be hot and the emails will zip across the ocean. Am I right? Isn't that what we do? If we hear about someone who's got it, the director's website gets a bazillion hits. We're thinking it must be on there. We ask for copies. We want her scripts, her contests, and where she buys her prizes. We're going to listen to her hotline. We're going to ask for her event agendas and her new consultant packets. We just know if we get all of that, surely we'll get it too. We desperately try to do everything she does to replicate it, but we can't. See, part of what makes it is that it defies categorization. We can't reproduce it. We can't manufacture it. And I don't want to disappoint the corporate staff who so genuinely want to help. But it is not going to come because you develop new products. It is not going to come because you improve the website. You can create training materials and send us pink links, and oh my gosh, we're going to appreciate them, and we're going to use them, and they're going to help us run our business. But no, it is coming from that training. It's not even about prizes and big checks and the trip. But I don't want to say this too loudly because I love prizes, big checks, and these trips. But it doesn't happen because of any of those. None of these is going to give us the real deal and the quantum leap. It's not a model. It's not a system. It's not the result of a program. You can't purchase it. It can't be copied, but it can be caught. And when I had it, 4 women in my unit caught it this past year, and it was a glorious experience as they used it to finish up directorship. And can I just clarify that at this moment, I believe that each director in this audience knows exactly what I'm talking about, because not only have you had it happen to you, you know and you remember when you gave it to others. There is no way that you'd be on this trip if you haven't had it and given it away. You know what I mean, yet I bet you can't explain it any better than I can. To an outsider, we might sound like fanatics. But to those who've experienced it, life is different. You are changed. You love what you do, and you want everyone to know about it. People who have it are passionate, spiritual, sincere, authentic, transparent, hungry for personal growth, eager to build others. It is instantly recognizable. It was in this room this morning. When you go to an event where it's loud, You feel the energy. You're sure there's a party going on. Anyone else is amazed when they realize that there's no alcohol, smoking, and hopefully nothing immoral. Instead, you get warm smiles, loving hugs, and an air of expectancy. The people coming in know there is something great about to occur, something special is going to happen. And when someone who has it comes up to speak or to present or teach, it's hard to describe. Of course, she's confident, but there's more than that. It's like she's glowing. Her words pierce your heart, and you feel like she's speaking directly to you. And when it happens, you remember where you are, where you were, what you wore, who you sat by, and sometimes the exact words she said to you. And when you are inspired with it like that, you change, and you change others. Remember, it can't be taught. It's caught. I can't promise it to you, but I can encourage you toward it. I can tell you of directors and units that didn't have it for years, but got it. And maybe today, when we can uncover a few simple principles that could ignite it in your heart, your life, and your business, and maybe you can take these home and share them with your offspring directors. Let's break it down to 3 principles. Number 1, you get it with vision. You have to have vision. Units that have it always have a clear vision. Every director and unit earned their way on this trip differently. Some built unit size, some focused on red jackets, some worked the Star Consultant program, some are big on recruiting, some focused on sales, some built car drivers and offsprings, some had none, some worked their personal business, some don't remember the last skincare class they did, some work with the local units, some have units that are out of state. One common ground is that you all had vision. There's not one program that will ensure your offspring's success, but you can help her get a new vision. Directors without vision are scattered, unfocused, and easily distracted. A visionless unit has consultants doing something. They're going to meetings, they're having appointments, but without any direction. So they're easily pulled off center. They're moving with no destination in mind. Remember that units that have it always have a clear vision. The unit knows the vision, understands the vision, believes in the vision, and lives the vision. The vision guides them, it motivates them, and it energizes them. Large numbers of people move in the same direction. And in Mary Kay, you might think a vision is to create a new unit, earn a first-time Cadillac, a first unit club, a first trip, a first million, a national area. But just because you have a vision statement or a banner or a poster doesn't mean you are given a clear vision. I think a vision needs to be a little deeper than that. Let's see if I can explain. Have you found that it's a whole lot easier to get your unit excited about winning a first Cadillac than it is your second or third or seventh Cadillac? Is it easier to motivate a unit to rally around your first trip or your first million? I agree, yes. The first time, way different. People love to rally for a first-time cause. Even you, more excited and enrolled in that goal. Your consultants get to feel like they're a part of something big and important, something that's never been done before, and they rally around that, even though it seems that the end result, winning a top director trip, is the vision. I don't buy that. In the innermost recesses of their minds, those people who do rally and really do help, I think they're doing it for you because you created a vision where they felt they were important to you. They want to please you and have you appreciate them for their efforts that will help you. I think there's a difference in there. And a director with it conveys this kind of vision to a unit. Now, does your offspring director have a vision? Let me give you a few questions to stir thoughts about vision. Ask them, number one, why does your unit exist? For some of you, a better question might be, why would your future area exist? If a director can't answer this, she has to be helped. Number 2, what can your unit be the best in the company at? I mean the best. Number 3, if you could do only one thing, what would it be? One thing in this company. One thing. Number 4, if you left your unit tomorrow, what would you hope would continue forever, with or without you, forever? Would it be that you taught women that they could dream again, and that you showed them that dreams can become their reality? And last, number 5. What breaks your heart, keeps you awake at night, and can bring you to tears? Be honest, directors. If there's nothing that stirs your heart that deeply, if your vision isn't a burning desire, if your vision isn't bigger than you can handle, bigger than you can do on your own, then that vision is not big enough, and you're not passionate enough, and you're not clear enough, and you might have a great business, but you're never going to have it again. Never. 2 years ago, I didn't want to be a $1 million director. I wanted to be one of the top 3 directors in the Pearl Division so I could speak on stage. That was my dream, my passion, my personal vision, and I presented it to our unit. Of course, I explained that to be one of the top 3 units, that they would need to set those personal goals that they had to reach. We did over $1 million that year. We did $1.15 million. Consultants were putting orders in that last day because we didn't want to chance it that there would be $4 million directors or units, because if we were number 4, I wouldn't speak. I don't think my consultants cared as much about our unit doing the $1 million as they wanted to get me on that stage. I had a whole group of women behind me wanting to help me fulfill my dream. And in the process, of course, they were fulfilling dreams of their own. Dreams that we talked about, and dreams they put pictures of in their dream books and on posters, and dreams we celebrated when they achieved them. Think about your unit members that rallied for your unit to be a trip-taking unit. They weren't going on this trip. If you finished $1 million, they weren't getting that $5,000 bonus. When you really reflect on who called and cheered and helped at the end, do you think just maybe they did it because they wanted to help you fulfill your vision, and because they knew that you were just as enrolled in their vision? Did they want to help because you were so passionate about your vision that you shared with them? And anyone who finished this Mary Kay year rallying the troops for a goal, I bet you had it as you were doing the rallying. Somewhere in the process of passing on your vision, your unit caught it, and it got you where you wanted to go. And for those of you who got on the trip easily, or you reached your year-end goal early, or if you really didn't have a vision or goal this year, you have created a dynamite business. And you are a successful, masterful businesswoman. But I'm betting if you didn't have to work to finish your goal, you didn't have it this year. And I bet you miss it. Remember? I know you've had it before. You're the top 1% of the top 2% of the whole company. You had it because you had vision. But ask yourself, do your offspring directors have a vision? They did when they debuted. How about now? Remember, if a vision is reached and no new one is introduced with just as much passion and just as much heart without even noticing, people get confused, distracted, bored, and it will fade, and that unit drifts. This is what drives us all crazy. When a director or unit has it, most anything the director or the leader tries seems to work. If she has an advanced glamour class, consultants flock to it and they bring guests who join. If she dreams up a contest that rewards consultants who hold 42 classes in a month, her consultants hold 42 classes. If she holds her meetings on Thursday mornings at 7 a.m., the room's filled. It doesn't matter. Even when one of her ideas doesn't quite work as planned, just the attempt seems to lead to something new and successful. With a consistent and compelling vision and it, everyone is pumped. Here's an example. For years, I was the only person in my unit, or my offspring units, who had done the Queen's Court of Sales. The only one, and I'd done it many times. I was leading by example. I was teaching sales techniques, customer service, challenging someone to join me. In 15 years, only one other consultant besides me did the court. But when my unit had it, one of my consultants, out of the blue, decides in the middle of May, when she has about 6,000 wholesale left to order, she's going to do the court of sales. Mind you, this is one of those years when I'm thinking to myself, I'm not going to do that court. Well, her unquenchable belief that she can sell enough to order 6,000 wholesale in 2 months convinces not only her, but 3 other directors, 2 more consultants, and me that we can do the court of sales too. Heck, I had less to order than she did. I could not do it. And all those consultants and directors finished the year in the court of sales because our future area was in the middle of having it. And every person's efforts fit into our crystal clear vision of being one of the top 3 units that year. And we were starting to talk about a future area besides. A new vision was coming into focus. My offspring units were drawn into this experience with me. My offspring directors were helping me train and groom and build my unit, and in the process, theirs was growing too. And when that first $1 million year was over, then what? We saw that there were leaders evolving from our efforts. We were getting more level 3 consultants. That's when leaders grow. Let me explain how getting more level 3 consultants looks. You see, units usually have 3 levels of vision buy-in. Level 1, these consultants believe in the vision enough to benefit from them. I think they were calling them 200 people here just a couple minutes ago. However, their buy-in to your vision is very minimal. They're in Mary Kay because they like the product. Some of them will come to a meeting or 2 because they're a part of something bigger than them, but they're really in it to get their product at wholesale. Level 2. These consultants believe in the vision enough to contribute comfortably. They are ready to contribute as long as it's easy. They're happy to help if it doesn't interfere with their other priorities. They might be your top in sales, really. They might do an extra $50, $500 order if you really need it. Level 2. But level 3, these consultants believe in the vision enough to give their lives to it. They aspire to leadership and directorship, and they want to be an important part of your vision. And from your example comes their own dreams and vision. A unit without it has consultants at levels 1 and 2. Units with it tend to have more and more people moving to level 3. And that's what was happening during the first year we did Million. I had one offspring and some really strong, dedicated consultants moving towards cars and wanting directorship. They moved together to level 3. There was such power in moving them up together. And as we entered our second year of having it, we accidentally stumbled on another principle and implemented it. Principle number 2 is get laser focused on what you do well and just do that. We focused on doing a few things as if our success depended on it, and we were going to do them with excellence. We calculated that if we got this right, our crystal clear vision would come to fruition. My future area of strength seems to be in teaching, and we focused on teaching skills. One skill we introduced was how 3 booking contacts a day, 3 to 5 days a week, can take you anywhere you want in this business. And we really focused on creating a full circle skincare class and teaching everyone how to hold one. We pulled out all the stops and emphasized the power of those booking contacts and improving class procedures. We created sets and recruiting notebooks, showed the power of referrals and follow-up. We got people to listen, and we were specific, selective, and exclusive. The consultants who moved up were passionate people in the midst of it. We had it, and they mastered that full circle skincare class, and they won cars and got team members and became directors, and they became friends. And that's the number 3 principle. During the whole year of our unit having another $1 million year, another principle was firmly in place. We enjoyed it together. The principle of unmistakable camaraderie drove our second year. We trained together and we did events together. These new directors in the making were all running buddies who challenged each other and celebrated with each other. They debuted as Miss January, Miss February, Miss March, and Miss April. And I firmly believe if Miss January hadn't become a director, neither would the others. We were connected and committed to each other, came to each other's debuts, knew each other's husband and kids. We had it. However, when those 4 offsprings left this year, taking about 150 people with them, it faded away in my personal unit. And that's why my July and August production isn't quite what I'd have liked. The power of it dissipates when the number 3 level consultants all leave your unit. But here's the deal. You and I have grown our units before. We've had it, and we can figure out how to get it back, even though those new directors of mine had experienced it. They didn't have a handle on why or how to get it for their own units. And that's when you see them struggle. I've realized they don't have a clear vision for their unit and for themselves anymore, and they aren't laser focused on doing what got them to where they are, and they haven't figured out how to teach those same skills to their new units. So we're working through another stage. When you don't have it, you get misunderstandings and frustration, and just like real families, there are disagreements. I am not the perfect director I used to be when they were a part of my unit. I don't know it all anymore. They're all grown up and they want to do it their way now, and that's okay. But sometimes I really do feel like the mother who has all the kids coming to tell them her side. And I notice as I look at who does the bickering or complaining that sometimes they're the ones unhappy with what's not happening in their units or in their personal business, and they don't have it. And guess what? That's a hard place to be. And I try to remember that they were the stars. They were the Mary Kay stars in my unit, and they had ideas and clout and energy and drive. And now as new directors, they aren't at the top anymore. And in their new units, they mostly have level 1 and level 2 consultants. And maybe only one of their consultants is at level 3 and really wants something out of her Mary Kay career. Is it any wonder a new director can seem listless and disengaged, and then they get worried about the darndest things? And I ask myself, how do I get them to realize if they'll focus on creating a vision, and if they get laser focused on doing and teaching the basic skills, and they continue to rely on the friends they've made and develop camaraderie and those strong relationships in their own units, it'll come together and they can experience it within their own units. And by no means do I feel I have this solved. I'm new at having this many directors to work with, but one of my offspring's units does have it now. And we all recognize that. And a couple of other offsprings are getting back on track with working their personal business and getting laser focused again. And when I left last Saturday, after our Hunt for Pink September, something was bubbling. And I can promise you that I'm going to do my best to transfer all that I've learned about it, because my vision is so clear to me. My vision is not just to be a national area. My vision is to be a leader of leaders. And there's a difference. To understand, let's look at one last principle that might contribute to it. Let's look at the person who creates it within her unit. Let me give you qualities I've seen in people who I've known who had it. I can think of 5. A passion for excellence, a deep craving to help others, sincere integrity, down-to-earth humility, and being broken and being healed. And as I look out at this audience, I know some of you, and I've heard your stories, and I know you embody those qualities. Who can I choose who clearly emulates those 5? Who better to hold up as an example than Mary Kay herself? Mary Kay had a passion for excellence, a deep craving to help others, sincere integrity, down-to-earth humility, and was a person who'd been broken and healed. Mary Kay had them all. And that's why we're here today. She had it and tried to give it, and some got it, some get it, and some just don't, never will have it. But we have it because we had her. So many companies have tried to copy what we have. They mistakenly think if we structure our sales force the way they do, if we have products as good as theirs, if, then they think they'd have it too. They couldn't be more wrong. With the comprehensive comprehensive list and unlimited financial resources. They can try to fake it, but people are able to tell. See, Mary Kay had it when she didn't have a huge, gorgeous corporate building in Dallas, when she didn't drive a fancy car, when she didn't have the computer, the internet, or a UnitNet site. She didn't have state-of-the-art video equipment, and she wasn't in 33 countries, but she had it. It is real. It is genuine. Mary Kay was the real deal, and those who get that, those who believe in Mary Kay's vision down to their core, those are the directors who can catch it, and those are the offspring directors you will never have to worry about. I know that the company wanted me to talk about how to grow strong offspring directors. They thought I had it down pat. They wanted me to tell you what it is, and how I got it, and how you could get it, and what you could do when you got it, and then how you could give it to your offspring, and my answer still is, I don't know. Really, I don't. Here's what I know. If you, or your unit, or your area had it, you knew you were a part of something special. In other words, you knew it when you saw it. And it was an awesome experience that couldn't be contained, couldn't be harnessed, and couldn't be easily explained. If you don't see it in your unit now, perhaps it is closer than you think, bubbling just beneath the surface. Maybe it's time to boil. All I can say is that my biggest, deepest, most sincere wish for you, and also for me, is that this year we all get it.